Okay, previously the first session could not be completed by some students because they got really confused with panels. So let me clear this one first. Some of you guys will have different workspace. Some of you guys will have the layer panels attached to the left side and asset somewhere at the bottom or right side. All of these stuffs arranged in different ways. So let me clear up that confusion. In order to follow the tutorial, match the workspace with mine. So for that, you guys just need to close all of the panels, close all of those panels, then they will get minimized to the right side like this. If I close display setting, it will get minimized here. See, close all of the panels, all of them, and arrange them like this. Put the property field to the left side and layers to the right side, and you guys can put the asset here at the bottom if you guys like, but it reduces the viewport size. What I like to do is I like to keep the asset browser closed and property to the left side and layers to the right side, and all the other closed panels can be found here. The first one will be texture set list. The second one will be texture set setting, inside which we can assign the mesh maps here. This is where we assign the mesh maps. Texture set setting. This is the panel and this is the name. Then we've got display settings, shader settings, asset panel. Okay.
Now let us start our second session of Substance Painter, and the topic is
mask, generators and layers. We will see at them in more detail today, and we will be making use of a mask tool instead of ID mask workflow. So this one is different than the first file. Here we have got multiple texture set. As you guys can see here in the texture set list, we've got 4 materials or 4 texture sets. This first one is for chairs. This one will have, which means its own base color, roughness, metallic, and this dining table will have its own material, roughness, metallic, all those stuffs. Yes, come in. Then floor will have its own material. Then plates will have its own material. We can export this texture sets individually or at the same time. Then when we will be importing these textures inside something like Arnold, then we will have to create materials for each of these texture sets. Chair will have its own material, dining table will have its own material, and floor and plates, they all will have their own materials. So this is the meaning of texture sets, which means different materials which will have their own texture sets. Okay, that must be clear. Then let us start with this dining table by texturing this dining table. So let us use a wood texture here. We will make use of material presets inside Substance Painter. Hang on, it has got frozen. Let me create a fill layer. This is a paint layer which we do not need here. As we have previously discussed, fill and paint layer are completely different layers. This is the paint layer, this is the fill layer. So we need to click on the fill layer to make use of material presets. Now we will go to the asset panel, which is this one, this icon. Let us go to starter assets and let me clear this search. Then we will have access to all of these things. Okay, search for materials. This is the material. Search for wood material. There. So we will use one of this wood preset. What is this? Close. We will just drag and drop onto the mesh. It's that simple. Now we will close it. Now let us adjust some settings here. The first setting that we want to adjust here, the first thing will be this one, tiling setting. How many times you want it to repeat? That's the meaning of tiling. Something like 2 or 3 will work fine. And as you guys can see here, it has got some height detail. It has got some normal. We can see it here. It has got some normal detail here, which is inside this material preset. We can adjust all sorts of settings here. We can adjust the brightness of this table. We can adjust the roughness. Why is it freezing all the time? We can also adjust the intensity of this normal. For that, let us see what parameters we've got here. We've got parameter for the color of the wood. We can add whatever tint we like to add here. We can make it let's say bluer if you like, greener, whatever tint you want to give it. But to keep it more believable, let us keep it brownish, something like this will fine. This will be fine. Now let us adjust the intensity of normal that we find here. For that we will find the setting somewhere here, the normal intensity, height range. Yes, this is the setting that we are looking for. Height range will control the intensity of this normal. As you guys can see here, it's getting more intense. We can completely disable it. We'll keep it very low, somewhere there will be fine. And we can adjust. As you guys can see here, this mesh UV wasn't done properly. That is why we are getting this effect. That is why it's important to UV the mesh properly and align them properly. As you guys can see here, the wood texture is not properly aligned here. So we can fix it to some extent. Let's try to fix it. Let's duplicate this layer and create a and adjust its orientation. We will try by adjusting, by adjusting the rotation something like 90. Yes, 90 should work fine. It's applying on all of the stuffs. To mask it only for this reason, what we will do is selection. Yes, we will add a mask here by making use of the mask tool. So let me first right click on it and add black mask. Then we will click on the mask, not here. This is for selecting the layer, this is for selecting the mask. When we click here on the name, it will select the layer. When we want to select the mask, we click here. First we click on the mask, then this is the tool we are looking for, this polygon fill. We click on that and select on this one, mesh fill. Let's try this one. Yes, it has done it. So this material is being used only by this portion. So that's how we fix some of the UV problems that we may get in our mesh. So the dining table texture set is done for now. Now let us move to other texture sets. Let us try the chair now. Let us move to chair texture set. Okay, delete this paint layer, we will not be needing that. Okay, let me create two folders here. Yes, come in. So we will be creating two materials here, one for the plate and other for the bowls. So let us do that. Let me create two folders. The first one will be plates. And the second one will be bowls. It's very simple and easy. We have to do the same thing that we just did. Add black mask. Click on the mask, select the tool. The name is polygon fill. Let me magnify a little bit. This is its icon. The name is polygon tool. This one, this fourth tool, polygon fill. What we need to select is this one, mesh. If you want to mask the mesh portions, we click on this. If you want to mask UV chunks, we click on this. If you want to mask individual quad, individual face, then we select this. If you want to select individual triangle, then we select this. But right now we want to mask meshes. So we will click on this mesh fill. Close this. Then this one. Then this is the slider. Whether you want to add white mask or black mask. Black mask will remove it, will remove the material. Then white mask will add the white mask. It's pretty simple. So we have selected the mask tool, this one, and let me first change the color to something bright blue. Roughness, let me keep the roughness low so that it becomes really shiny. Metallic will be 0, which means it has to be plastic. So select the mask, select the tool, click on this one and click here. Then it should work. Oh, we have got a layer here. No, why isn't it working? Oh, we are inside the chair chair texture set. That is why it's not working. Let me cut all of this, Control X, then let us go to which texture set? Plates, right? Yes, we need to be inside the plates. Delete this, then paste. Now it'll work. That was the problem. Okay, we select, we click on the mask, fill tool, this one, click here again, then we've got our mask. It's pretty simple. We are not using any ID map here. We do not need ID maps for simple texturing like this. For simple texturing of like this, of this kind of simple texturing. Okay, let's move on. Now let us move to the bowls. Oh, hang on, there is one more plate here. What was that? Click on the same tool and click here. So we'll get our blue color. Now let me copy this layer and go to the plates and paste. A bowl, yes. Hang on, this one will go to the plate. Oh no, this is plate. This is plates. This one will be bowl. It is important to name the layers and folders properly so that we don't get confused. I'll make the color of bowl white. Blue and white are really matching. So let me add the mask. Add black mask. Select the polygon fill tool, the fourth tool, this one, then here and here. So we've got our mask. Very simple and fast. Okay, plate texture set is also done. Now let us move to the chairs. We'll use the same technique here. We'll create two folders, one for the wood and one for the plastic. Two folders. One is for wood, the other one for the plastic. Okay, we will use material preset here. We will use material preset here also. Let's try this one. Okay, this will go inside the wood folder. Let me apply the mask now using the same technique which we just used. Black mask, fourth tool, mesh fill. These four chairs are making use of overlapping UVs, which means if you texture one chair, all the other chairs will be textured. This UV overlapping workflow is used to save texture space, mostly in games, isn't it? So all the chairs are textured. Let me check. Yes, it looks fine. Tiling also looks fine here. So let us move to, no, something is wrong. This is not wood. Wood would be the wood. Let us move this. Hang on, what is wrong here? Oh, the selection of the mask is wrong. Black mask, select the tool, mesh. We have to select the wood, not the plastic. Okay, as you guys can see here, the UV unwrapping is also not done properly here. They are not aligned properly. Some are aligned horizontally, some are aligned vertically. So this is not looking natural. We will need to fix that. So let us fix that. We will fix this and this. These two sticks. Duplicate. What we will need to change is the orientation, the rotation. Let me zoom on these settings a little bit. So these are the different settings that we've got. Tiling, how much you want to repeat it, how much you want to rotate it, and these are some offset options that we've got here. This will offset it vertically, this one will offset it horizontally. What we want to do here is rotate 90 degree. Hang on, close this. Yes. Now let us add the mask here. right mouse button click, add black mask, select the fourth tool, this one, click, click. Yes, it's done. It looks fine for now. Now let us move to the plastic portion. Let me use a smart material here. Save this for now. Let us look for some interesting plastic pattern. Let us go to asset browser, plastic, yes. Let us use this one. Just drag and drop and add the mask. This will go inside the plastic folder, and right mouse button click, add black mask, select the fourth tool, this one, click. Click on the mask, this one, this, then click on this. Yes. Let's go back to the paint tool. Okay, let us adjust some of the tiling setting here. How about 2? No. 0.5 should work. Yes. Now it's looking natural. Okay, this chair texture set is also done. Now let us move to our final texture set, which is the floor. We will add a smart material here also. Let's try this one. How that looks. Yes, it looks fine. We will need to change. It's a fabric. So let's try something marble. Delete this. We can find marble inside the smart material, I think. As we have learned previously, smart material has got its own folder with its own fill layers, masks, and generators. Things become a lot faster and easier with smart materials. We've got many presets here. We can use one of the marble preset here. Rubber, metal, marble. There are 3 marbles here. Let us try some of these. Okay, this also looks fine. But we use the black one, I think. Yes. This one looks much better. Hang on. It's slowing down. Okay, it has created many folders here, as you guys can see. Each one of this folder is one smart material. This one is for marble white, the black, the white. We will use the black one. Delete. Okay, now let us check by rendering it. Render. As we have previously discussed, Painter has got 3 main modes. The first one is for creating. Sometimes you may not see these icons when you have selected a paint layer because there is no space here. For that, you just need to select on a folder or fill layer. Click on a folder or a fill layer, then you will see these modes. These 3 modes, right? The first one is for generating maps, for generating and baking different sorts of mesh maps. This one, which we are currently in the painting mode, this is the render mode. Now let us go to the render mode. Okay, this one is pretty much done. Let us not add much more things here. We will go to the second file now. The last thing that I will do here is disable the background. Then we will get something like this. Hang on. It's making use of Iray ray trace rendering. That is why everything is looking photorealistic. In games, it will look different. Okay. We can adjust some of the settings here, like the resolution. Painting mode, render mode. Okay, this one. Here we can find options for overriding resolution. We can set the aspect ratio and pixel dimensions here. So let us use 1280 and 800. And minimum sample, max sample. Max sample we can put to 5000. Then for how long you want to render this. Something like 30-second works fine. So let us wait for 30 seconds for this to render properly. Then we will save it. And it's very simple to save it. We just need to click on this button. All of this is inside the render setting panel. Icon is this one, which can be found only inside the render mode, not inside the paint mode. So let us wait 30 seconds now, then save this one and move on to the next one. It's done. Save render. We can select the format here. JPEG will be fine. Table. Save. Okay. This is done. Any question about this one? No. Okay then. Save. And new. Save and new. So this is our render. It has rendered properly. Okay, now let us move to that sci-fi car, war car. Let me open this. Let me first check the folder what I have provided. Vehicle file, this one. I have provided some maps here. I have provided, it has got multiple texture sets like the chair. So there are 2 ID maps, one for the wheel, one for the main body. And we have got 2 normal maps, one for the wheels, 3 normal maps, one for interior, one for main, and one for the wheels. We will assign all of them 2 IDs, 3 normal maps, and 1 mesh. So let us get started. New file, select the mesh, vehicle file, this one is the mesh, normal will be OpenGL, painting resolution will be 2K. All of this will be unchecked. Then should be fine. Import. Okay. Now let me set up the lighting here first. Environment opacity, environment blur. Desert. Let me find some matching, but this one will be fine for now. White. Okay. Let me also enable the shadow, which can be found here. Opacity of something like 20 or 30 works fine. Okay. If you guys want to check the wireframe, as I have previously shown, it can be found here. This one. As you guys can see, it is a pretty low resolution mesh. Modeled for games. It's very nicely modeled. Let me disable the wireframe. Okay, now let us assign the mesh maps. Let me check the final render. This is what we are trying to recreate. Oh, okay. So we will start by importing the mesh maps. There are 2 ways of importing it. We can import it into the asset panel, or we can use this one, file, import. Let me first import the mesh maps. All of these are mesh maps. What? Hang on. Okay. Don't forget to specify them as textures. And don't forget, import inside current project. Import. Okay, now let us assign the maps one at a time. One texture set at a time. As you guys can see here, we've got 4 texture sets. One for the glass, one for the interior, main frame. This is the main frame. And these are the wheels. Okay. And let me change the shader so that we can create glass material properly. Right now it is set to ARM Metal Rough. We will change it to this one. name is alpha blending. PBR metal rough with alpha blending. This is important for opacity channel to work properly. So click on that. We've got our shader that we want now. Okay. So what we need to go, first we need to select the texture set. Let us start with mainframe. Select the mainframe and go to this one, texture set setting, the second button. First, let me open the asset browser, detach it, bring this one up. We have to assign it here. This is the area. Okay. Now let us start with the normal map. This is the main, right? Main texture set. So we will use the main normal here. Main normal. We'll go to the normal map. Main ID is this one. This needs to be done properly. Textures need to go to the correct texture slot, otherwise things will be messed up. Then what else we've got? We've got normal and ID. Just those two maps, right? Yes. We will be creating the other maps inside the Substance Painter. Ambient occlusion, curvature, all those stuffs. Today we will learn how to create those two maps, curvature and ambient occlusion. Okay, this is done. Let me check. Yes, normal looks fine. Let me check. Yes, it has been imported properly. Then for the wheels, select the texture set, detach the asset panel, open texture set settings. This one is wheels, right? So wheels ID will go to the ID slot. Then wheels normal. This one, yes. So we've got that done. Now let us move to the interior. Texture set setting panel again. Interior ID will go to the select ID map slot. Then normal. Interior normal, this one, yes. That will go there. Let us check. We don't have any mesh maps for glass since we do not need it. It's a simple material. Okay, things looks fine for now. Yes, it looks really good. So the next thing will be baking curvature and ambient occlusion. It's really simple. We just first need to delete this paint layer, select a paint layer, then we will have access to these three buttons. Where we need to go, the button that we need to click is this one, baking. Now what we need to understand here is this one is the texture set list, this one is the mesh map baker, this one is mesh map settings, and these are some of the other stuffs that we don't need to be worried about right now. What we need to bake is select here. We just need to bake ambient occlusion, curvature. We can also bake the position if you like. It will be required for the generators that we will be using. We will also be needing the world space normal. World space normal. So we will be baking 4 mesh maps. World space normal, ambient occlusion, curvature, position. Now let us set the resolution of those maps. Right now it is set to 512, which means half K. We need something like 2K. 2048 will be fine. So we have selected the resolution, we have selected the mesh maps. Now we need to select the texture sets for which we want to bake those maps. We will not be needing for glass. We will be needing for interior, main, and ambient occlusion. For wheels, hang on. I did that for the glass. We need to do the same thing for all of these other texture sets. Uncheck normal, we already have got normal. Uncheck ID, we already have got that. We need curvature. These four maps: world space normal, ambient occlusion, curvature, position. Yes, the same thing for the mainframe. Disable normal, disable ID, thickness. Okay, 1 2 3 4. Yes, same thing for the wheels. 1 2 3 4. Yes, let me recheck. We don't need anything for the glass. We can bake the ambient occlusion, curvature, position, world space. Let's keep these things for glass too. We may need it. So we've got all of the maps that we want. We have selected all of the texture sets for which we want to bake. We have selected the baking resolution. We should be good to go. This is the final thing that we need to check. Do we want to bake for the selected texture set or for all of the textures? We will select for bake selected textures, which means it will bake for all of the texture sets. Now it's pretty simple. We just need to click on this button, then all the things will be done automatically by the painter. It's that simple. We will need to wait for all of this to be completed. This is the power of Substance Painter. It's really good at baking all of these maps. It takes a few minutes. It's almost done. Okay, now let us check. Let us go back to the painting mode and check the maps one at a time. So this is the material, the lid view. We've got all the maps rendered here. Let us check normal. Normal looks totally fine. Let us check curvature. Curvature also looks totally fine. This will be very useful for creating that wear and tear effect. Ambient occlusion looks really good. Ambient occlusion, as I have said before, is the indirect shadow that we get in deep areas, as you guys can see here. Okay, everything looks really good. We are ready to do the texturing now. Okay, let's get started. Let me put back this layer to the right side again. Okay, so the first thing that we will add is this material, this metal hood. So let me go back to the main frame. This main frame is the texture set which contains that metal hood, so we will need to select it. Delete this paint layer, we will not be needing that. Okay, create a folder. Hood, main, hood metal. Okay, let's create a simple fill layer. We will be making use of some smart materials and material presets too, but let us create this one from scratch using fill layer. The channels that I will be using is color, roughness, and metallic. Okay, color will be white, bright white. Roughness will be low. This will be somewhat shiny material. Metallic need to be full. So we've got our metal here. Nice. So let us add the mask. We will be using the ID map, so we will need to be we need to select this one, add mask with color selection. This one, add mask with color selection. It's pretty simple. We have used this several times in our previous sessions. This is the color. Okay, we've got our mask. It's working totally fine. Now let us add more variation to it so that it looks more realistic. So this is the base metal. Then duplicate metal 2. The second layer will be a little bit darker and rougher. Okay. This is the first layer, this is the second layer. Now let us blend them by making use of masks. We create a black mask, then what we need is add fill. Add fill effect to the mask. We need to add this fill effect to the mask, not to the layer. previously students made mistake by adding this fill to the layer. We need to add this to the mask here. Okay, now we click on the mask, we click on the fill layer, this one, then we will get this grayscale. This is where we need to drag and drop our masks, which can be found inside the asset panel. Clear search. What we need is procedurals, this one, and some interesting grunges. Let's use this one. Drag and drop here. Let me make this smaller. Drag and drop to this box, and we should get our mask. Yes, it's working. Let me adjust tiling here. Tiling of something like 3. Yes, it looks fine. Let me adjust some offset setting. Yes, this one can be a little rougher. Yes, we've got our first variation. We've got our first 2 layers. Now let us add some subtle wear and tear effect to it. So let me create another fill layer. Rename this wear and tear. For this we will be using a generator. As I have previously shown, it's pretty simple. Keep the roughness high, color bright enough, and metallic to full. It need to be either 0 or 1. We cannot use mid values. It looks non-realistic. So we have converted it to metal. Roughness is high, color is bright. Then yes, add black mask. Then on that black mask we will add generator. Then we will select the generator. The generator that we are looking for is this one, metal edge wear. Okay. Let me check. Yes, it's working. Let me adjust some settings. What if I make it brighter? I'm making the base color darker, and this one little bit less rougher. Making this one rougher. Okay, let me select this one, then we'll get these options. Intensity, the amount of grunge scale. 4 works fine. Grunge amount, let me reduce it a little bit more. Okay, this one is looking too uniform. Let us add little bit of ununiformity to it. For that we will use a trick. What we will do is click on the mask and add fill effect. Now we've got 2 effects on the mask. So this one is the generator, this one is fill effect. We click on the fill, then select a grunge map, something like this one. Okay, balance, contrast, tiling to something like 3. Okay, now what we need to do is, this is important, we need to change the blend mode. Now these 2 guys are blended normally. What we need to do is change this blend from normal to multiply. Now we've got some variations on the edge wear. As you guys can see here, this effect is making it look more believable, isn't it? It has added some ununiformity to the edge wear, which looks more natural. Okay, this is done. Now the last layer that we will be adding here is dirt layer. But just remember this one, the blend mode need to be set to multiply. Then only it will work properly. Then we can adjust its balance, how much you want that effect to be. Somewhere there looks fine. So that's how we make use of edge wear. This one will be dirt. The channels that I will be using is color and roughness. Roughness will be high, color will be somewhat reddish and gray. So this is the dirt. Now let us add the dirt generator. For that, right mouse button click, add black mask, right mouse button click again, add generator. The generator will be the dirt. Okay, looks pretty good already. The dirt level, dirt contrast, grunge amount. Let me reduce the dirt intensity. Dirt color, what if I make it brighter? Somewhere there looks fine. Okay, this hood is done. Now let us move to other materials. Now let us add this red color. Let me duplicate this whole thing. Duplicate, save. All of these layers are already created. Now they are all duplicated. Now the first thing that we will change is the color of the ID. Right now it's set to green, which we will remove. Add this one, light green. There you go. Now let me disable all of this. We will be tweaking them. The base color will be non-metallic red. Roughness will be low. It will be plastic. So we've got our color, metal, roughness. Yes, the base color is done. Now this one, let me switch to base color mode. Turn this one on. Pick the color, hang on, to red, this color. Okay, now let us add little variation. Let us make this darker and more desaturated, something like that. Roughness will be rougher. The first layers is here, the second layer roughness is a little bit higher, as you guys can see. So let us check the fill layer, the mask effect. This is the mask, this is the fill grunge that this is currently using. Let us adjust some of the offsets. Okay, this one will work fine. Now let us go back to material mode. Okay, intensity is really high for the base color. We will reduce the opacity. For that, select the channel for which you want to reduce the opacity, which is base color. Then this button, we don't want it that intense, so we will reduce it. But why are we still getting it? Because we also need to reduce the intensity for other channels. Yes, but right now, why is it appearing so intense? Let me check. Oh, because this is set to metallic, which need to be changed to plastic. Now we get it. Hey, what have I done? No, don't close it. We just need to reduce the opacity a little bit. Yes. Now the other effect is this wear and tear. This one is looking pretty intense. Let us create this again. Add black mask. Then add generator. Metal edge wear. There you are. Okay. Wear in. Yes, come in. Wear contrast. Grunge amount. Okay, now let us add some non-uniformity to this one. This one is looking too uniform. We will not have wedge and tear effect everywhere like this, so we will do the same thing which we previously did. Right mouse button click on the mask, add fill. Then we select on the fill and add some interesting grunge. We can also go to grunge bitmap. Let's try this one. Okay, don't forget to change the blend mode to multiply. There you go. Let us check. What we can do is change the contrast, balance. Somewhere there looks fine. Okay. Yes, it looks natural. Okay, the last layer is dirt. This one. Change the color to darker gray, little bit red to it. Okay. Let us adjust some settings. Reduce the intensity. Contrast. Opacity is set to full, right? Yes. Let me check by rotating the light. Let me check to the left side. Okay, it's taking shape. We need to add some patterns on the top of that. Okay, dirt looks fine for now. Let us add some pattern. Let me collapse all of this. For adding pattern, we put this inside a subfolder. Inside the wood metal, create a subfolder and name it red. Put everything inside and create another subfolder called black. So create a fill layer. We'll need to make it black. Roughness. Add black mask, then add fill, asset panel. Let us look at some of the interesting patterns which can be found inside fabric, geometry. Yes, gradient. Which pattern I used here? Huh? Yes. I don't remember which one I used. I think I used this one. Let's try some of this. Let's try this one. Okay, we have got some procedural settings here. We can adjust the balance. We can adjust contrast, which we want to keep full. We can adjust tiling. This one is set to 1 right now. What if I change it to 2? Yes. 0.1. 0.5. Looks good actually. This coughing is really distracting. I'll have to edit this. Okay, this one looks fine. Let us add some variation to it. Black. Let us add a dirt to it. What if we put this dirt on the top? So it will share. Yes, we can put the dirt on the top. Then let us add some variation to the black. Actually, what we need to do is add this mask to the folder. Yes, that's exactly what we did. We have put the dirt here. Now we want to add variation to the black only. So we will add this mask to the black. Can we do it? Hang on. Let me add a black mask here and shift this to this folder. Yes, we totally can do it. Then we can add whatever folder we want inside. Let me create a black mask. It should give us the same effect. Let me try. Yes, it's doing it. Now we can add the variation, which will be added only inside this black pattern, which is exactly what we want. Control duplicate. This will be lighter and little bit rougher. So let us add a mask on the top of that, a fill effect, add fill, grunge. Let's try this one. Okay, it's working really fine. Then we can reduce the opacity a little bit. Okay, this one is done, but this material looks fine. We've got our metal, we've got our paint. Now let us do this one, this mud guard. The process will be pretty much the same from here on. I'm copying this black variation from the subfolder black and bringing it here. Let me apply a mask to it by making use of add mask with color selection. This one, this red color. Okay, we've got that. Now let us add the same wear and tear effect that we previously added. Wear and tear and dirt. Copy, paste here inside the mudguard folder. Okay, let me rename this black 2. Wear and tear effect. Let me reduce the grunge amount, the wear and tear level. Okay, dirt also looks fine. We can adjust some of the settings if you like. Add more dirt, less dirt. Okay, it looks pretty fine. Now next one is this one, this yellow thing, this yellow paint. Duplicate the whole layer, rename it, what will that be called? Front guard. Change the color of the ID minus orange. Okay, we just need to change the color to yellow. Wear and tear working totally fine. We can increase the wear and tear a little bit here since it will take more damage. The front region will take more damage, so this one, wear level intensity. We can also increase the grunge amount a little bit, and this one also we can tweak a little bit. Yes, this one will be fine. Dirt. Let me change the color of dirt a little bit. It looks fine. Okay, we're getting there. So the next metal will be the backside. The backside was also black, I think. This folder. Let's apply the base color, this color to this portion also. Yes. To make things a little bit faster, let us use some smart materials here. Let's use this one. Hit the mask. This one. Let us adjust some settings. Go inside the folder. So it will be fine for now. Okay, now let us add some metal to this. These pipes. Another smart material we'll use. Let's use some iron or aluminium stuff thing. Steel we can use, yes. Let's use that. Where have I applied it? I have applied it to wheels. No, that is not what we have to do. We have to go back to mainframe and we have to apply properly. Drag and drop onto the steel. Yes. Add mask with color selection. Pick color. Light blue. Yes. We've got our steel. Okay. Now let us add some lights to it. The way we will do the lights is by making use of emissive channel. Lights. For that we will first need to add the emissive channel. Go to texture setting, this plus button, emissive, this one. Let me zoom a little bit. Texture setting, the second icon, plus emissive. Then we will be able to add emissive channel too, as you guys can see here. Enable the emissive, disable normal, height, metallic. We just need color, roughness and emissive. Now set the emissive to white, color also white, roughness can be set to 0. Now apply the mask. Roughness can be set to 1. Add mask with color selection. Pick color, yellow. We've got two lights. We will make this front light white and the back light red. So the light is this one. And then let's add red lights. Duplicate. Red lights. We will need to change the color. Minus. Pick the yellow. Then change it to red. Color red. Emissive red. Then it will appear even in the dark. Then it will glow even in the dark. Okay, the lights are done. What are the things that are left here? Let me check. Let me solo this mainframe. Alt and click on this button. Then it will solo. Most of its things are done. Gun is left. Gun is left. Gun and this exhaust tube is left. Yes. Let's do that real quick by making use of smart materials. We can use some chrome type steel here. Chromed copper. Let's use copper. And add color mask. Select the ID. That should work. Okay, this is done. The next is this gun. Let's do the gun. For gun, we can use some really rough metal. Something like this will be fine, I think. Let's see. Yes. Select. Okay. Since we are running out of time, I'm doing things fast. You guys can do better with more time. This one is done. Now let us apply material to this one. That we will make use of smart materials here too. How about red? This one, red. Oh, okay. Okay. Looks fine. Then we also need to add some metal here. This portion. Let us do that real quick. Yes, we can definitely merge. The exhaust one was this copper, I think. Yes. To select this one and add more colors to it. This one is already selected. Pick color and add this one too. So it will take the material of that exhaust. Okay. And let us add the same material for the spring too. Select the white too. Is it selected? No. Yes, now we've got it. Okay, looks fine. All the portions are covered, I think. Oh, yes. This isn't covered. So let us add the same material. Let us add the same black paint to it. Black paint was which one? Mudguard. But this one. Yes. Let us add the same material of mudguard. Pick color. This one. Yes. It will work fine for now. Then let us add metal to all of these guys too. Steel paint. This one. Pick color. This. Pick color. This. And also this. Okay, it's pretty much done. Then there is also one material left here, I think. Let's check. Let's go to base color. All of them are applied. Yes. Oh, which one? This. Which one? This barrel is left. ये barrel कर लेते हैं. Let's go back to this one and add steel. Okay. It's taking shape. Now let us create the glass. For that we have already selected the alpha blend shader, this one. This is important to get the glass effect properly. We will need to go to glass material set, glass texture set. Let me save. This one is a fill layer. What we need, opacity channel. We haven't added it yet. Plus opacity. The only channels that we will be using is color, roughness, and opacity. Opacity will be set to something like 0.1 or 2. Color will be black. Roughness will be high. Roughness will be low to make it shiny. Yes. Now let us add some interesting pattern to the interior. This one is the paint layer, so delete it. What we need is a fill layer. Let's make it black. Mask. Add mask with color selection. Pick the color. Pink. Let's make the seats white. What was the color of the seat? Black. So let us select the same color for the seat too. Okay. Now let us add some interesting pattern to it. Add black mask, add fill, then where we need to go? Grunges fabric. The pattern that I added was this one. Okay, let me adjust the tiling. Hang on. Where is the image? Tiling was set to higher, I think. And interior red. Let's put this inside another folder. Red. let me put this inside this folder and transfer the mask to the folder. Then remove mask. Okay, then we can add some variations to this red. Let us add a fill layer. Variation, some grunge variation will be fine, I think. Grunge variation. हाँ टायर व्हील्स, हाँ वो व्हील्स भी दिखा देते हैं चाहे व्हील्स कर लेते हैं. व्हील्स भी बहुत ही सिमिलर है. We just need to do the same thing which we previously did. There are only two ID colors for the wheels. One is rubber, the other one is metal. Let's do it real quick. For rubber, make it black, make it less shiny. Create a variation for that which will be a little brighter and rougher. Add black mask, add fill, add some interesting pattern to it. Let's try this one. Okay, increase the contrast, reduce the balance, and increase the tiling. Okay, reduce the opacity of base color. Then we have not added any mask yet. Add mask with color selection. Select the rubber. Then let us add final layer to it, dirt. Same thing. Add generator, dirt. Okay. Contrast, reduce the dirt level. Yeah, it looks fine. For metal, let us add a smart material. Smart material, metal. Let us add some steel. Apply the mask. There you go. We've got our tire. The rest of the things you guys can do it, right? Okay. So let us come to the end of this session. Any questions you guys can ask now? I will be providing the assets. So let us do one final thing. Okay, but this one is not looking good. We can fix that. What we need to do is select the display setting, clear color, this one, this need to be checked, and we need to adjust the height of something like -50 will work, I think. Yes, we need to adjust this one, this Y value, -134, -110 will work. Yes. To change the direction of light, you guys already know the shortcut, shift and right mouse button clear. Yes, so we've got our car. So we can adjust some settings in the render settings. This one, we can increase the time to something like 1 minute to get rid of all the noises. 60 seconds is really fine for iRay. So here we've got our car.